Hey guys, George here with, guess what? Day 100 of the carnivore diet. Me and my delicious element in my Pioneer Woman glass bottle. I'd definitely be killing the element. I really think that some crazy things that I have told people over the last probably 90 days or 100 days basically is my consumption of sodium is pretty much through the roof. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, that's so bad for you. Like, I probably consume on average no less than 10,000 milligrams of sodium a day, no less. Probably more along the lines of 15 to 20,000 per day. So what I did is I went and got my blood work done initially at about, I think it was 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days in on my carnivore diet. So things probably maybe could have changed a little bit from when I first started versus 5 or 6 days in, or however many days in that I was. So what I did to make things simpler was on my report, let's see, I printed it out. I like the app actually a little bit better. So as you can see here on my report, I actually wrote in my previous numbers on there, and so then that way I could compare them and just kind of see where we're at on all this stuff. And so, we're talking about 90 days. I did a complete metabolic panel, urinalysis, a complete lipid panel, hemoglobin, A1C, testosterone, C reactive, protein, insulin, and drawing fee. I don't know what that is. But anyways, so we'll go through, we'll jump right in. I stayed to the T when I say carnivore, full-blown carnivore, okay? Not like the one where you can have all the meat. I only did red meat, butter, and salt for 90 days. No cheating at all. Now, I would have beef sticks, still beef, grass-fed, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about like nothing other than beef, butter, and steak. I did have some element. So that has some magnesium, potassium, sodium, and I think it did have like a pinch of stevia or something in it. So in that sense, this is what got me through the nighttime cramps, because I started having cramps because I wasn't holding any water. So big time lifesaver there. Probably the best electrolyte supplement that I think I've had out of the different people and the doctors that have all the different ones and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed theirs. I think theirs is the best. We actually sell it now because I believe so much in it at the gyms. So if that's something that you want and you're at the gyms, I'll give you a free sample to try it out. And they're a little pricey, but at the end of the day, we're talking about your health, and we're talking about a good quality product, not just a cheap, you know who I'm talking about, a bunch of cheap products that have a bunch of chemicals and all kinds of crap in them. So anyways, let's jump in, let's get going. All right, so we'll start at the top. Let's see here, what would be the top? I think it would be this side here. The metabolic panel, 14 different things, glucose, which I thought was kind of funny. The range is 70 to 99, right? And my initial one was only 62, and my current one is 86, which I thought was really interesting because I don't know how that's possible when I had no sugar or glucose or carbohydrates or anything. So I'm not sure what that means. If anybody knows why it would do that, that would be some good information that I would like to know. We'll go through these Bun, I don't know what that is. Let's see here. Creatine. I mean, all of these are within range. 20 previously, 17, 1.07 to 1.12. You know, again, I'm just going to kind of go through sodium. Spot on. Stayed the exact same. 136. And the range is 134 to 144. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Little number there. Potassium. The range, I mean, I was at 4.5 or 4.8, and now I'm at 4.5. Again, the range is 3.5 to 5.2. You know, a lot of this stuff, I mean, I could share this with you. I mean, anybody who wants to actually see it. Alkaline phosphates. Okay, alkaline phosphates. That was high this time, and last time it was not. So last time it was 97. This time it was 124. The range is 44 to 121. So just right outside the range on that one. You know, I think that's kidney functions or kidney stuff, something to do with the kidney stuff, just like the AST and the ALT. Last time my AST was high at 49. Now it's down to 32. So I could consider that a win. You know, not sure why that alkaline phosphate is jumped up, but it did, and it's barely over the high range. So I was way more than barely over the AST range last time. Again, I talked to some people. They said it's nothing to really worry about at this point. So going through, then we got the urinalysis. My pH was 5.5. Now it's down to 6.0. You know, nothing abnormal with the exception of ketones, which those of you that know, if you're on the keto diet or carnivore or anything like that, you're gonna have high ketones because that's what your body's using as fuel. So your body will produce ketones that's from fat, and that's what your brain uses, and all of those things. I've had some definite discussions with different people about, you know, just, I don't know, just different opinions and stuff like that. I am probably in some of the best shape that I've been in many years currently by doing this for the past 100 days. So I will respectfully argue with anybody that this has been a great thing for me. So, and for my wife, I've watched her change dramatically, her health change over the last 100 days. Has she had some downtimes? Of course she has. Have I had some downtimes? Of course. On the overall, I have regained all of my energy. I have actually put on muscle. I have more strength or more energy than I had before I started, which was great. I took a big dive when I first started. I'm not going to beat around the bush and say, oh, I felt great. I did not feel great. Probably the first 30 days. If I'm just being completely honest, it took a while for my body to fat adapt, I think, whereas Allie's body fat adapted like within 2 weeks. So she felt better in 2 weeks. It took a month for me to feel better. But ever since then, my energy levels have been very sustained. You know, I have no real dips. I don't really get tired at 1 or 2 o'clock like I used to. So all in all, very good on that side of things. I have really enjoyed that. Let's see. So anything else on the urinalysis? I mean, everything was fine. You know, nothing, no other abnormalities or anything like that. Again, so far it's just been the alkaline phosphates. Finishing up the urinalysis in the back, definitely nothing of concern. I mean, some of this stuff's not even seen and blah, blah, blah. So now we'll go to the one that I know I'm probably going to get a little flack for, but I'm okay with that. Again, so we're going to go to the lipid panel, and that's your total cholesterol. So this is the one that in some people it goes down, some people it doesn't. Mine did not go down. So my cholesterol actually went up. It went from 231 to 258, my total cholesterol. but my good cholesterol raised, my triglycerides were 71 and they're 83. My HDL was 44 and that went to 51. My VLDL was 12 and now it's 14. And then my LDL was 175, went to 193. Again, I know this is a big deal for a lot of people, and I'll explain more later as we go through some of the other tests that I had done, because I know cholesterol scares a lot of people. I mean, most of my family have died from cholesterol issues, so high, or heart attacks and stuff. So is it not a concern of mine? Not really. And it runs in my family. So I truly believe like my health right now is significantly better than it had been. And all I'm eating is red meat. Now, I say that to say, as I progress on this diet, I will be progressing to adding more things to my diet that, won't just be red meat, which is everybody's concern. Red meat's super bad for you. It's not. I mean, but I don't want to get into it any more than that. We're going to move on. My hemoglobin A1C was 5.4 previously, and this time it is 5.2. Again, pre-diabetes is 5.7 to 6.4. I'm not really anywhere near that. I mean, it's going down, so I'm good with that. So something else I thought was good is that, we were doing, I did a testosterone check, and so I wanted to see where I was at physically on that, and that came in at 564 originally, and now after just eating meat and doing the carnivore diet, Lion, I am at 617. So I've increased my testosterone just by increasing my just eating protein and stuff like that, and lots of fat. So I thought that was pretty exciting, which would explain why I gained 3/4 of a pound of muscle. So that was super cool, super excited about that. Something I thought was pretty interesting, and this is the C-reactive protein cardiac. So this says right here, relative risk for future cardiac event. Again, this is, I would say, what I'm more concerned with would be this thing, because it kind of tells you, I guess, I don't know how exactly it does it, but it gives you a range of stuff that would say, low is less than 1. Average American is 1 to 3. And then high would be over 3. Okay, my previous results were 1.4, which would put me in the low, or in the average category. So on the low end of the average, but still on the average. Okay, so it went, and this is for potential future cardiac event, is what this says. Was at 1.24, now it's at 0.32. So to me, that means more to me than the cardiac or the cholesterol, because cholesterol in itself is not bad. It's cholesterol with carbohydrates, particularly sugar, is really what the bad thing is. The bad thing in all of it is sugar. Nobody wants to, people will admit it, but they don't really want to talk about it. And when you cut sugar out with like a carnivore kind of diet, things get better. And why is that? Because sugar is the bad thing, not the fat. Because if the fat was the bad thing, then I'd get more unhealthy. So you cut out sugar out of your diet, and when I say sugar, that's everything. Everything has sugar. If you look at most things, they all have sugar. Most things have sugar in them. Even the bacon I'm looking at now, I gotta watch out. You gotta be careful because it has sugar in it. They put sugar in everything. So, and it's not just cane sugar. They put erythritol, and they put aspartame and stevia, and there's so many names. I think there's like 65 or 67 different names of sugars. that they add to things. So when you look at the back of something and it's got lose on the end of it, that's a sugar, some type of sugar. So that's the problem that people have, and why people have more heart issues and more diabetes and more of all these other issues that are inflammatories. Okay, with meat, I'm not inflamed. It doesn't get inflamed. Okay, now you have to be careful with certain things, as I discussed before, like gout and certain things like that, because of the uric acid from red meat, and particularly organ meat and stuff like that. But we do take a fiber supplement to kind of help on that, and a probiotic. So all in all, 90 days, super stoked. I feel great. Truly, I really do. And I'm not just saying that. And I understand that carnivore is not for everybody. And this video is not to tell you that you're wrong or anything like that. This is just my personal results from 90 days. I'm going to do this again in 90 more days. And with the 90 more days, I'm adding eggs and bacon to my diet. So we'll see what happens in that. You know, and then I'm going to do another 90 days. And that next 90 days will be pretty much all meats. I might do cheese. I might not. I haven't quite decided yet. Really, a lot of it's going to depend on my wife. And if she's better, and to the point where we could add cheese, both of us, then I'm going to add cheese. If she can't add cheese, I'm going to wait. And I'll do another 90 days. But by the end of the year of doing this, I'm not saying I want to be done with carnivore, but I want to be able to have transitioned off into, I really think that I'm probably going to end up being more like a ketovore, you know, which is where I do, you know, carnivore, but also the keto diet, where I can have some avocados and some berries and some fruits and stuff like that. The plan is just that I transition slowly over to that, and then after I'm done with that, you know, and I see how my body reacts with that, then I can start adding little things back, like if I want to try something. Or I mean, my goal is really that if my wife and I have an anniversary or something that we want to eat bad at, that we can eat bad. And yeah, we may not feel the best, but we can still eat bad and then jump back on what we've been doing. But both of us feel great. Both of us have lost, you know, a significant amount of weight. We feel better from the inside out. And so I think that's what's important. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on things, and if you have any questions about anything, or you know, want to see something else, or have, you know, ask me anything about it. I mean, I'll tell you. So anyways, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. I know it's a long video, and so hopefully it helps you get a better idea on what I went through and the results that I got, that I feel are pretty substantial. And you know, anybody that's seen me has definitely seen the transformation as far as weight loss. I mean, I could see it. My face is smaller, thinner. You know, I definitely feel better. So, you know, anyways, whatever you do, just commit to it and take it one day at a time. And you can do it. I believe in you. I feel great. I feel like anybody can do anything they want to once they set their mind to it. But it's always good to have some accountability and someone to do it with, which is why I chose to do it with my wife, because I know that she's going through a lot, and I want to be her biggest supporter and be there for her as she walks through this, and she doesn't do it alone. Anyways, God bless, and see you next time.